Hi guys, today's video topic is 3D printers. I've been thinking about purchasing one for a while now, but then a situation came up where I needed a custom-made part for a boat, and I thought that was a great excuse for me to make the plunge and buy one. So I started doing some research at what they cost and the features they come with. I'm not sure how much I'll use it, but my kids have these ideas of the toys they want printed. After looking at some new ones online and the second-hand market, I decided to start with a small investment and get a used one. If I really get into it, then I can upgrade later. I wanted something that was turnkey, priced well, and not far for me to drive to get. There are many used printers on the market, but this is what I ended up with buying. It's a Creality Ender 3 V2 printer. Found it on Facebook Marketplace, and I paid 140 Canadian dollars for it, and it was only 15 minutes away from my shop. This brand and model was one of the more common printers available, so it must be good, right? Came with an assortment of tools in this little tray here, and it came with a small amount of filament. The nice thing about a used printer is that it's already assembled. It's probably a couple of hours to put one together. Let me tell you what I've learned about this printer and 3D printers in general, which isn't much since I'm a beginner and I've only had this thing for 10 days. But surely I can teach someone something. First, this is the general look at the printer. Some are open like this and some are contained in an enclosure. This is an FDM printer, and from what I understand is type where a filament is melted and extracted through a heated nozzle and joins as it cures to create a 3D object. This is generally the most common and least expensive type. I'll show you some of the main features of the printer. The items you are printing are made on this table. This table's working area is 220 millimeters by 220 by 250 millimeters high, which is about 8.5 inches by 10 inches high. This is the filament that is used to create the prints. This is PLA filament, which is the most common. It comes in many different colors. Printers can come with single filament or multiple. This one is just single. It's the cheapest and easiest way to go, so that's how I wanted to start out. The filament feeds through this extractor right here, and then through this tube, which is called a Bowden tube, and then down. It goes into the nozzle that you can see underneath there. Now that heats up to 200 degrees where it melts the filament, and then it drops onto the table and then where it cures. The nozzle moves in an X, Y, and Z direction by way of 3 stepper motors. Here is your X-axis motor. In the back is your Y-axis motor. And down here is your Z motor. This is your display that shows the information and functions of the printer. One neat thing here is that it shows the total amount of printing done. So it shows 1,500 prints, and it has done 7,200 meters of filament used, and a total of 161 days of printing. Now that seems like a whole lot, but I'm not sure. From this information, I was able to calculate the average material cost for each print based on a roll of filament being $20, and it calculated to 29 cents for each print, so that seems pretty cheap to me. Now these are upgradable, and this one does have some upgrades. It has a second cooling fan. I see that the bracket it's mounted on is 3D printed. It also has some other upgrades that he told me about, but I can't remember what they were. But I do remember that he said it was about $100 worth. The way you get an object to print on here is first you need a 3D drawing of an object. You could draw your own or get them online. I have printed one of each and made the same mistake on both of them, which I'll tell you about later. The one I designed myself was done on Rhino 3D. You save your file as a .stl drawing. From there, you open it up in a slicer program. This is a program that prepares the file by putting many thin slices in the model. I'm using Ultimaker Cura, which is what my printer instructions recommended. I have to input the printer model in the program so it knows all the settings. When the file is opened, it shows the model. Hit the slice button and it's ready in seconds. It tells you how long it will take to print and how much filament it will use. You then save it to your micro SD card and stick it in the printer. You find the print option on your screen, find the file in the list, hit the button, and it starts printing. As it prints, the screen will tell you how much time has elapsed and how much time is remaining. When it's done, you just pop it off the table. It will be stuck a little bit. As for the ready-made files, I got it from printables.com. I simply downloaded the file and sent it straight to Cura. From there, it's the same procedure as before. Here are the two items I printed. This first one here is the one I designed, and it's a capping for a boat. It goes over the rub rail. Now, this one, you can see I messed it up because I printed it this way, and it had to span across this distance, and it just sagged, so I didn't think about that. And what I should have done was printed it upside down like that. Or there's a function that I didn't know about. It's called supports, and that will put temporary supports in here, and you just break them off after. There you go. And that one took about 2 hours and 40 minutes to print. So this next one here is one I got online, and it's just a handle for my 3D printer, and it goes on the extruder, and that was missing. So again, I guess same problem. I printed it this direction, and it's floating here, so it just had no support, and that's the mess it made until it started sticking. So the top's fine, but again, I should have printed it this way, but this is the way the drawing came, so I wasn't thinking. Okay, so there we go. I learned something. That does it for this video. I've actually learned quite a bit just by creating this video, and I hope you learned something too.